Hello, I'm so happy I got a hold of you. Welcome to another exciting episode of Lucious Showcase. I am Lucious T, and today we are starting Genesis Shooter Month. Yes, Wes, let there be shooters. My least skillful genre, not my least favorite genre. I think my least favorite genre is puzzle games, and I would say shooters were up there, although recently they've been coming up. I don't know what it is. I'm just really starting to enjoy these. And I decided, why not start with one of the originals, the Genesis launch title, Thunder Force 2. Yeah, where's Thunder Force 1? I know, my wife asked me the same question. I don't know. But I'm starting with Thunder Force 2 on the Genesis. I recently saw it on a GameSack episode, and it looked cool. It's pretty cheap compared to some of the other Genesis shooters. So let's take a look.
There's a lot of games out there, some of which you've never even heard of. That's where I come in. I'm Lucious T. I've been playing games since the age of 2, and I have no life.
This is Retroactive.
Thunder Force 2. Whew! What have I gotten myself into this month? This may have been one of the hardest games I've beaten for the channel, and man, it is one of those games where you will play it and you need to get good. Like, as stupid as that sounds, you gotta get all the patterns down, you gotta get all the techniques down, and even then, I had to go into the secret menu, change it so I gave myself an extra life, because you only get 6 continues, but you can give yourself 4 or 5, 3, 4 or 5 lives per continue. So I give myself the 5 lives per continue. And there's also a stage select that lets you select 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. It doesn't let you go to 6, 7, 8, or 9. But, spoilers, if you start on any level but the beginning, it will go to stage 9 after you beat stage 8. So I beat stage 8 and was ready for the final level, and it went to stage 1. And here I am like an idiot, because I don't know the game, going through this level being like, oh my god, I'm kicking ass in this level. Holy crap, this looks just like stage 1. Wow! It was stage 1. Yeah, it was stage 1. But Thunder Force 2 is a shooter, but it's not your traditional vertical or side-scrolling shooter. It does have side-scrolling levels, but it has almost they're not overhead levels because they don't auto-scroll. They're more like an overhead level in, say, almost like a Desert Strike, I guess. One of those games where even though it's not isometric, but you're on a plane and you're going around looking for bases. And you have to find 4 bases, destroy them, and then you go into the base, and that's where the side-scrolling level happens. The side-scrolling level ends with a boss fight, at which point you go to the next overhead place, and then so on and so forth. You can get additional lives. I think the first life you get is at 20,000 points, and then I don't know if it's every successive 100,000 or what. I lost track. Just usually, until you get really, really good at it, which was for me at the very end of my playthrough, I wasn't really paying attention. I was just trying to get through the game. There's several different types of weapons you can use, and when you die, you lose every single one of your weapon upgrades except for your ability to shoot a kind of a twin laser, and then you can shoot backwards and forwards at the same time. So you always have those, and based on which type of map you're in, so if you're in the overhead map, you have your own set of weapons, and if you're on the side-scrolling map, you have your own set of weapons. And this was something I found out late too, is that if you beat an overhead map with weapons, the next time you get to an overhead map, you will still have those weapons. Now, I don't know if this happens if you continue. I doubt it would happen if you continue, but because I didn't really start getting to the point where I was beating through multiple levels on the same continue until the end of the playthrough. But you would end the overhead map and say stage 1, you get through stage 2, and then stage 3 you would have all of the upgrades. So it made going through the game easier that way. Same thing with the side-scrolling levels. If you end the side-scrolling level with a bunch of weapons, next time you get to the side-scrolling level, you would have a bunch more stuff at your disposal. There's no area clearing effects. You do pick up drones that help you avoid bullets. It's more of a pinpoint bullet experience, because I did have times where my ship touched bullets and I didn't explode, so it's more of it has to get, I think, the center of your ship for it to kill you. It's funny, I've never been a big fan of shooters, and I found this one both very approachable. The overhead levels were a nice clean break because they were much easier until I got to level 9. Level 9 was freaking impossible. I don't know how. I even watched a few videos online of how the guy killed the things that shoot the circles. I couldn't kill any of those without dying. And I just got butt-ass lucky that I managed to get the immunity force field and the laser at the same time I killed the last one, got to the center of the thing, used my laser to weaken it, and still had a few lives left to finish it off. And yeah, I was very pleased. My wife wasn't, because I ignored her all day. I was only supposed to do this for a few hours. Instead, I think I ended up playing the game for 10, 12 hours. But complete. Yeah, what else is new? What else is new? But I really enjoyed it. Great game, especially if you are new to shooters. Nice way of entering the fray because it's not super difficult on the overhead levels. You can get through those, especially depending on the type of weapon you use. I found different strategies going throughout. Level 8 is the biggest cock block of the whole game. I got pretty easily through it until level 8. And the strategy I ended up finding out for that one was using the hunt beam. The hunt beam comes in very handy at portions, but then you have to switch to the wave beam. And like getting familiar with the different weapons helps a lot. If I was going to give it a rating, that's a good game. I'd probably give it a 9. Honestly, I give it a 9. It's a really solid shooter. And I've only heard better things about the sequels, so oh my god. I don't know what I'm going to get there, because I did like the overhead stuff. But let me know what you thought about it as far as pick it up, skip it, or emulate it. Pick it up. It's cheap. It's a cheap Genesis game. Pick it up. There you have it, Thunder Force 2. Really solid game, especially when you consider it was a launch title for the Genesis. If I had had this game along with Altered Beast, I would have been pretty satisfied. That is, if I could have played it, which almost certainly at the age of 4, I probably wouldn't have been able to. Anyways, it was a great game. Let me know what you think about this month's theme. Let me know if you have any other Genesis shooters you recommend. I have already picked the other 3 games I am doing this month. And spoilers, they're not all traditional shooters like this one. And even this one isn't the most traditional of shooters. But yeah, it was so great getting a hold of you guys. Take care.